Hello everyone, welcome to Liberal Tarot. I'm Sherry, a blue dot in a red state, offering insight into these very interesting times we have going on here in the United States. So I'm really glad that you're here and welcome. So I just realized that I messed up my intro, and so this could be interesting because I have decided that anytime something goes awry or is weird, I need to I need to remember that. And real quick, I just want to tell you, like that intro, I use that kind of as a way to kind of like set the circle. Like this is how I'm opening the reading. Like I have a beginning, and then I do the reading, and then my very end, that's me kind of like, like closing the reading off, like it's all contained is what I'm trying to say. And that one time I didn't do that, and that reading stayed with me. And I don't remember my readings, and so that reading really stayed with me, and I had to do a follow-up with it. So yeah, so anytime things go awry, I'm like, oh, what's this gonna look like? So yeah, just wanted to point that out. So anyway, yeah, thank you for joining me. What I'm going to do today now is I'm going to be looking into the health of the Democratic Party. I did these readings back, I mean, it was early on in my in the channel of the health of, and I know that I should have rewatched them, but I didn't. It's probably fine that I didn't. But I do remember that I said that the Democrats, there was work that needed to be done. And that, the establishment Democrats, they've got to go. And so now we're seeing that today. We're seeing that now with them caving there in the Senate. So what I want to do is I do want to look into the health of the Democratic Party. And I am using the Wiser Tarot still. And anyway, so as always, this is for entertainment purposes only. The health of the Democratic Party. And I'm just going to start with a base reading. Well, hey. The health of the Democratic Party. What do we need to know? Base reading. Okay. Entertainment purposes only, the health of the Democratic Party. Oh my God, that's so... When I ask about the health of the Democratic Party, and that's the first card that comes up. Okay, so things that I have been kind of saying as I've been doing, and I am doing readings, like when something goes awry, I know that I need to pay attention. Another thing is when things come up weird, I need to just pause the video, take a moment with it so that I can come back and really have, a good interpretation for you guys. I ask about the health of the Democratic Party, and that is the first card that comes up. Good for them. The corporate Democrats, you have been put on notice and your time is up. I don't care if you're not up for re-election in the midterms. We will remember this, and your shame is your legacy for letting down the American people, and we will not forget that. Okay? Alrighty. And now I wonder what the next card is going to be. I swear to God, if it's the Tower card or any one of those like Ten of Swords, I'm going to just really laugh. So the challenge to them, being able to keep themselves revived there, Page of Swords. These are people that are not serious. The challenge is, let me think about that for a minute. Because this is someone you don't want to go into battle with. This is also somebody who, this actually may be the younger generation. Like they may not be as experienced, but they're ready to take this party on. And I tell you what, I'm ready to vote for them. Okay, I am ready for the younger generation. And by younger generation, what's sad is that the younger generation is my generation, some of us. But this is like, step aside. The Democrats that are established Democrats that have been there forever, not talking about Bernie Sanders, I love him. It's time to step aside, and they've heard that. They've heard that message over and over. Well, we're going to get really loud with that message. When you have Chuck Schumer can't even have a book tour, but yet you have AOC and Bernie Sanders who can't find venues large enough. this is going to be the face of the Democratic Party when the old goes away. And if you look at this, what's interesting in this card is back here. Oh, I'm looking at the. Oh, I need my glasses on. Okay, so this card is really very visual. Okay, I want you guys to look at this card. And those of you that are wanting to take tarot classes, I'm going to be giving little mini lessons as we go. One of the things is to take a card, start with Major Arcana, take a card and find 10 things in this card. And then you tell a story around this card. Okay, so if we're going to do that with this card, here is Death has rode in on their horse and trampled the king. Can you guys see that? That's the king. That's the establishment. This is, and then here you have, and is that like this almost looks like a wizard with the wizard hat. I'm not sure if it is, but, you know, begging for their life. Can I bargain? And so the court, you know, whoever this is, the king has been trampled. Here is the court saying, you know, not looking too well here, of, you know, begging for mercy. Here in the background, is this a sunrise or a sunset? I guess it depends on your perspective. So with this, the sun is setting on the establishment, but the sun is rising on something new. Okay. And then the other thing that stands out is this red seat here. Red is usually one of courage. And so we're having the courage for this transformation. Okay. And I know that there's symbology here in this. Honestly, that, you know, not every reading is going to have every single, you know, piece of symbology, but, and then, I'm trying to look here. Oh, and then there's like the water here, like troubled waters, you know, how are we going to traverse the waters? And it's also, waters are emotions. So looking at that and putting this into the context of the health of the Democratic Party, well, we are going to have the courage to get rid of the establishment. The sun is setting on them, but going to rise on something new. Okay. And what is the something new? It's going to be the younger generation, which younger generation is still, you know, Gen X, millennials. There's some Z's in there, probably not in the Senate yet. Okay. We're going to have to wait. I can't remember what the age is for Senate, but, so yeah. And once again, the red here, having the courage, having the strength, having the confidence, you know, the yellow confidence, the purple, the knowledge, like they can do it. Like, we can do this. And then the orange is going to be just that, the energy to do this. So yeah, standing on the grassy, you know, hill here of the fertile grounds. Okay. So that is a lot of symbology in this, especially if you put these two together with that. So yeah, the sun setting on the corporate Democrats, the younger generation is going to get ready to come through. Okay. This is also just a great way of saying, like, starting with tarot, just do like 2 or 3 cards. You can get so much in just a few cards. Okay. So let's come back down here with this. So younger generation going to be taking over. 4 of Swords. I truly almost feel like this is where we're at right now. Our options, laying in rest. We are not going to just roll over and play dead in this at all. There is going to be a coming to Jesus moment. I'm sure those the Democrats are hearing that right now. Their coming to Jesus moment is, what are they going to do? And they need to step aside. And that message is going to be loud and clear, and they're seeing it with the sun setting on them. Okay. So, you know, thank you for your service. Get the fuck out of the way. That's kind of what I'm feeling with that right here. And if we're going to talk about symbology, look at this, the stained glass here in the church. Stained glass, the stained glass is always just so pretty. And also, let me look at this. Oh, that's interesting. I've never read it like this before. Okay, so in the 5 of Pentacles, there's the 2 people standing outside in the cold. I almost see this as like those 2 people finding solace in the church. So we, you know, instead of being like the 5 of Pentacles, we the people are going to find solace in, like, whenever they're, you know, like, thank you for your service. Get the hell out of the way, because we're ready for this government to be, you know, for the people. Okay. The Foundation, the intuitive female. Okay. The intuitive female, the answers are there. You just have to ask the right questions to find the answers. This is also secrets coming, you know, to the surface. the intuitive spiritual teacher and woman. So this can be, and this is the foundation. Following the intuition, following our instincts. I think that's pomegranate there. Let me pause this just for a second. Okay, I wanted to take my own advice and like pause this and really kind of look at this for a moment. What I noticed with this is we have, the death card, transformation, and then we have laying in rest, like laying in state. Like literally these two cards are going to be like the old ways are done. Here with the high priestess, this is a spirit, someone who is spiritual, but it's also a time to go within. It's that like contemplative state, like go within to seek those answers. And here, that's what you have here with this. The connection between these two cards is the options are one of laying in rest. Okay, this is not, I'm feeling like this really shouldn't be a passive card. It's more of an active card of like meditating, going within. What is it that we want in the Democratic Party? We are going to have like this major transformation of what the Democratic Party stands for, and that it's going to be standing for, it's the young, I just keep saying the younger generation is going to be taking over, like really taking a more prominent role in this party. The recent influences, how do we take care of people? The Queen of Cups are the emotions, and Queens, the caregivers, the nurturers. And so this Queen of Cups is definitely, and if I'm looking here, it's like she's in the past. And so and also the recent influences is what we're going through right now. In this reading, this is our present moment. Okay. And that we are looking at how do we take care of people, and feeling so alone in this because we've been betrayed. As the Americans, we feel betrayed with this. And so a lot of soul searching is going on with this. And then the outcome is a lot of soul searching, and I love this, that star right there. Find, dark night of the soul, find that star of hope and join with the other stars of hope. Okay. But as far as us, if you notice how this card comes up, it's looking in the past. Okay. So this card so these are, and if you notice the coloring on these cards are, there's a lot of those blue, the purple and bluish color here. Here's the bright blue. I really think that, okay, the coloring with these, like this is more vivid, and I'm almost feeling like don't be afraid to dream big. What are your dreams? Because we always say, like, like when you dream in Technicolor, like the colors were so vivid. And then how are we bringing that into our day-to-day? How are we looking at what is it that we want? How is it that we can move forward? Okay, so the health of the Democratic Party is in us. We, the people, are the health of the Democratic Party. And what do we want? We want the established Democrats out. Okay, so what is going to, where do we go from here? The health of the Democratic Party. Where do we go from here? From the Hermit card. So we have this dark night of the soul. We know that the established Democrats are now done. They're going to be, hearing a lot from us. And then, like, what was that in the Chuck Schumer one that came out? You would have seen that yesterday. I just did the reading moments ago, and it's like, what was that when we were raining holy hell? Oh, the Nine of Swords. Were we going to become their worst nightmare? Oh, yeah. We are their worst nightmare. And then to continue with that, the end is nigh, and this time of reflection of what is it that we want, how are we taking care of people, and looking, there's not a lot of action here. Okay, so let's see, when do we take action? When is this, like, where do we go from here? Because I feel like this is, and I even said this is where we're at right now. And so this is what we get to look forward to. So when is this major transformation? I really think it's like when the downfall of this administration. I wonder how many of them are going to be found that they were actually complicit. when 3 months, like what happens next, there's going to be this, this is going to be work. I mean, this is a card of work. There's work that's been done. There's more work to be done. If you notice, like, there's one of my decks, I think it's the Robin Wood deck. There's like, oh, it is. There's like a lot of work that's been done up here, and then the bottom part of this archway is still just stone, and the guy's like carving on it. So I always see this as we're in talks, but there's work that has been done. There's more work to do. Okay. And a 3 is always seeking for balance anyway. So yeah, threes are usually a card of expansion. And then the Lovers. What is it that we want? How are we coming together and having two healthy parties? So this isn't just the health of the Democratic Party, it's the health of the Republican Party as well. And if you want to look here at this three co-equal branches of government. Like, how do we get back to this? Schoolhouse Rocks did not prepare us for this. Maybe they did. Maybe we just need to get back to Schoolhouse Rocks. Yeah. How do we have a government that takes care of the people? How do we have fair government? You know, one for the people and not the oligarchs. And that 2 of Cups with the Lovers. Okay. So usually when these two cards come up together, what I see is these are our ideals. This is what we strive for. This is like more practicality. So like we can strive for two healthy, you know, parties in this, in the United States. However, while this is the ideal, the practicality of it is there's a lot of work to be done, and this balance between the two. Okay, so this is going to be kind of more in real life. Like, this is what we want. This is what we're getting. And this is actually kind of almost a better feeling in that it's going to take work. Okay, and I guess I don't want to discount the work that it's going to take. And that's the foundation of this. The recent influences, the Hanged Man, things are in a state of suspension, also needing to look at things in a different way. And the Democrats need to start looking at things in a different way. Got to get rid of that AIPAC money. If you cannot say genocide is wrong, then you can't, no, you have no business being in the Democratic Party. If you can't endorse Mayor Mamdani because of a religious difference, then no. Okay? Freedom of religion is also extended to those that aren't of the Christian or Jewish faith, or those of us that maybe aren't of any faith. Okay, so looking at things in a different way is going to be what they do for, you know, literally for the health of the Democratic Party and 10 of Pentacles, getting back to taking care of people. Okay, so that is kind of what, that's what I'm getting today, is that there's going to be some soul searching, rightfully so, with the Democratic Party. And with that was kind of coming up with these first 3 cards here. These 3 cards here. A lot of soul searching. That's what I'm going to say with this. A lot of soul searching. And oh, yeah, and then the Hermit card. These are all going to be my soul searching cards, especially when they all come up together like that. It's like, oh, yeah. So, yeah, those corporate Democrats, they need to realize that they're going to have a dark night of the soul when they realize that the American people have abandoned you, okay? We no longer support people that are going to sell us out, okay? So, and then whenever that all gets done, we do have a younger generation. And I find it so funny. It's like the younger generation is still my generation, is still Gen X. There's younger people in there, too, that are going to start taking over because we are going to vote them out. We're going to vote the establishment Democrats out, and they're going to get primaried, and I love that. So, yeah, a little bit, I just really kind of wanted to go more, and these cards are just so gorgeous and beautiful, and there's a lot of symbology in that. So, yeah, thank you very much for joining me. I really do appreciate it. Like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you on the next reading. Have a great day.